Today we uncover the shocking truth about the superfoods sold in UK supermarkets. Yes, I'm just as surprised as you. Are there even any real or healthy foods left in the modern-day abomination called a supermarket? Well, it turns out there are. But unfortunately, most of them don't have a multi-million-pound marketing budget. And look, it's no secret that most of us look forward to eating purely for the enjoyment. It's one of the simple pleasures we get every single day. But putting some of these healthy foods into our system, even if it's not always the most enjoyable, is something we've all got to do. And yes, we all know that one person who lived on meat pies and cigarettes and still made it a stone's throw from 100. But that doesn't mean people wouldn't benefit from having these healthy foods every now and again. I don't plan to eat 3 square meals of superfoods daily, but it's priceless information to at least know what healthy foods still remain within the walls of the UK supermarkets amongst all the piles of Frankenstein foods being pushed to our families. Because they're certainly not going to point them out for us, are they? So with this information, at least you'll know what to look out for next time you're under those bright lights. So we've gone through the major brands currently sold in UK supermarkets, and we'll expose the 33 superfoods which are hidden within those aisles. Then I'll tell you the 11 categories of heavily promoted fake health foods which you need to avoid at all costs. But before we get into this, I need you to hit that hype button right now. Not just like hype, because let's face it, the supermarkets aren't going to tell you this. Even your doctor isn't going to tell you this. If they pick up the phone, that is. But when enough of us start choosing differently, when we hit that hype button and spread this information, these companies have to listen. Their bottom line depends on what we buy. So hype this video, share it, and let's force them to change. All right, let's get into it. Number 1. Beetroot. What's one of the most important things in your body? Your organs? Your bones? No, it's your supply. Your circulatory system is the life force of your entire body. Everything depends on it. Energy, healing, recovery, function. What can your body do without good, healthy blood circulation? And beetroot is one of the best things you can give it for rejuvenation. Beetroot contains natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, which helps widen your vessels and improve flow throughout your entire system. Better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to every cell. You'll find it in most supermarkets, fresh or pre-cooked. And here's something else about beetroot that doesn't get talked about enough. That improved circulation we just mentioned, it doesn't just help your body, it helps your mind too. Better flow to the brain means better oxygen delivery up there. You'll notice feeling more sharp, more alert, and just not forgetting things as often. Studies have shown it can support cognitive function and mental clarity. It's not a miracle cure, but when your brain's getting better circulation, things only get better. And here's the fun part. Don't panic when your urine turns pink after eating it. That's completely normal. It's called beta-uria, and it just means your body's processing the pigments. Now, one quick caution. If you're prone to kidney stones or have oxalate issues, you'll want to go easy on raw beetroot juice. Cooked beetroot is better for you in that case. You can even make a beetroot curry, but for most people, adding beetroot to your routine is a proper boost to your vitality. Number 2. Coconut oil. This stuff is genuinely versatile, and that's why it's on this list. You can cook with it, sure. It's got a high smoke point, so it's stable at higher temperatures compared to some other oils. But where coconut oil also shines is outside the kitchen. It's brilliant for your skin. Natural moisturizer, no weird chemicals, and it actually absorbs properly. People have been using it for centuries in tropical regions for skin and hair care, and there's a reason it's still popular. And then there's oil pulling. If you've never heard of it, it's an old practice where you swish coconut oil around your mouth for 10 to 15 minutes to support oral health by reducing harmful bacteria. Some people swear by it for healthier gums and fresher breath. You don't have to do it every day, but it's worth trying if you're looking for a natural approach to oral care. You can find coconut oil in pretty much every UK supermarket now, and it's not expensive. Multi-use products like this are rare, so it's worth having a jar at home. Number 3. Organic eggs from the Soil Association. You just can't beat a good old-fashioned egg. After decades of propaganda against eggs and cholesterol, that whole narrative finally fizzled away. The brainwashing campaign fell apart when people realized eggs weren't the villain they'd been made out to be. So people started eating eggs more again. Suddenly one day, prices tripled. They wouldn't want us getting something so healthy for so cheap now, would they? Organic eggs certified by the Soil Association are the highest welfare standard you can buy in UK supermarkets. No routine antibiotics, no growth promoters. Smaller flock sizes, which means better welfare overall. You'll find organic eggs at Waitrose, under the Duchy brand, at Marks & Spencer, and in the organic sections at Sainsbury's. Yeah, they're about 70 pence more than standard free range. But you're getting chemical-free feed and the highest animal welfare standards available. That's worth it. Number 4. Whole almonds, plain and unsalted. This is your snack that doesn't spike your day. No sugar crash, no energy dip an hour later. Just steady fuel. Almonds are packed with healthy fats, fiber, protein, vitamin E, and magnesium. They keep you satisfied, and they're brilliant for your hair and scalp too. Vitamin E supports healthy skin and hair growth, and the good fats in almonds help keep your scalp moisturized. If you're dealing with dry, brittle hair, adding almonds to your routine could actually help. You'll see a lot of flavored almonds in supermarkets, honey roasted, smoked, wasabi, all sorts. Avoid them. Check the label and you'll see they're coated in sugar, vegetable oils, and maltodextrin. You're paying extra for junk. Plain unsalted almonds are the move. They're in every supermarket, usually in the snacking aisle or the baking section. A 200-gram bag will last you a while if you're just having a handful a day. Shelf-stable, no refrigeration needed, and way better for you than any so-called health bar. Number 5. Frozen berries. Here's something most people don't realize. The freshest fruit in the supermarket is often in the freezer aisle. Fresh berries are picked, transported, stored, and sit on shelves losing nutrients. Frozen berries are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen within hours. That locks in the nutrients right when they're at their highest. You're paying half the price for more berries, with zero waste. No moldy punnet drama. A frozen bag is about £2 compared to £4 for a tiny fresh punnet that'll go off by Thursday. Freezing doesn't destroy nutrients. The freezer aisle is one of the most underrated sections in the supermarket. Number 6. Lentils, beans, and chickpeas. This is the cheapest fiber upgrade in the entire shop. 40 pence per tin, and you're getting a massive hit of fiber, plant protein, and slow-release energy. If you want to skip meat for a week, lentils are your answer. High in protein, incredibly filling, and they make a brilliant base for curries, stews, soups, and salads. Learn how to make a banging lentil curry, and you're set for life. Seriously, it's one of those meals that costs next to nothing, tastes incredible, and keeps you full for hours. Lentils are the anti-ultra-processed food move. Real food, one ingredient, no messing about. Compare that to those high-protein ready meals that cost £3.50 and have 18 ingredients you can't pronounce. Lentils beat them on every level. Check the label and make sure it's just lentils. Same goes for tinned beans and chickpeas, kidney beans, black beans, cannellini beans, chickpeas. Stock up on them. They're cheap, they last forever in the cupboard, and they're genuinely good for you. Number 7. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, particularly sockeye. Now this is where it gets serious. Wild Pacific salmon, including Alaskan sockeye coho and pink, grow in their natural ocean environment. They're not given antibiotics, pesticides, or artificial feed. That 2017 study that condemned farmed salmon found that wild salmon had a clean bill of health, no significant contamination. Wild Alaskan salmon fisheries are some of the best managed in the world, with strict quotas and genuine sustainability monitoring. You're getting high-quality protein, B vitamins, selenium, and loads of omega-3s. The deep red-orange color in wild salmon comes naturally from astaxanthin in their diet of krill and small fish. No artificial dyes needed. Unlike farmed, wild salmon is worth the extra cost. It's everything farmed salmon pretends to be. You'll find it in most major UK supermarkets. Look for the label that specifically says wild-caught Alaskan or wild Pacific. If it just says salmon or Atlantic salmon, it's farmed. Don't be fooled. The price difference is noticeable, but you're paying for genuinely clean, sustainable fish that hasn't been pumped full of antibiotics and artificial coloring. Number 8. Biona Organic Rye Bread. Here's a stat that should genuinely concern you. 54% of bread samples tested in the UK contained multiple pesticide residues. 54%. That means more than half the bread on supermarket shelves has pesticides literally baked into it from contaminated wheat. Wheat is one of the most heavily sprayed crops in the UK. It gets hit with fungicides before and after harvest. And those pesticides are systemic, meaning they're absorbed into the plant tissue. You can't wash them off. They're in the flour and they end up in your bread. Biona Organic Rye Bread is made with 100% organic ingredients. Organic flour, organic seeds, no pesticides, no additives, no artificial anything. It's also got 9 grams of fiber per 100 grams, which is 3 times more than broccoli, traditional stone ground flour, proper slow-release energy, and it keeps you full for hours. This is one of the healthiest non-ultra-processed breads you can buy in UK supermarkets. You'll find it in most major supermarkets and health food stores. It's a bit denser than your standard white sliced loaf, but that's because it's actual bread, not fluffed up air and preservatives. Number 9. Plain kefir. Real kefir is a game changer for your gut, but you've got to know what you're buying. There's a difference between real kefir and cultured dairy drinks that get marketed as kefir. Real kefir is made using traditional kefir grains, which contain a much more diverse range of beneficial bacteria and yeasts compared to starter cultures. Biotiful Kefir is one of the most widely stocked real kefir brands in UK supermarkets, and it's got over 14 live cultures. That's genuinely impressive. Now, is homemade kefir superior? Of course. If you've got the time and the setup to ferment your own kefir at home, that's always going to be the gold standard. But Biotiful Kefir is still a superfood nonetheless. It sits right next to all those little gut shot drinks like Yakult and Actimel that cost 7 times more and give you way less benefit. Yakult has 1 culture and about 3 teaspoons of added sugar per tiny bottle. Biotiful Plain Kefir has 14 cultures and no added sugar. Same aisle, completely different worlds. The key is to buy plain, unsweetened kefir. A lot of flavoured kefirs are loaded with sugar, which defeats the entire point. Plain kefir, add your own berries or honey if you want it sweeter. You'll find it in most major supermarkets, usually in the yogurt section. Number 10. Plain Jumbo Oats. Compare this to the national disaster that is the monstrosity of modern breakfast cereals like Special K. Oats costs £1.50 for a kilogram. Special K costs about £4 for 500 grams. And it's basically sugary flakes with a vitamin spray. Plain jumbo oats are 1 ingredient. Oats, that's it. High in fiber, slow-release energy, keeps you full until lunch, and costs basically nothing. This breakfast doesn't have a marketing team, so you'll have to think about it yourself. Meanwhile, the unhealthy cereals, which are packed with ultra-addictive sugar and flavorings, are thrown in our faces daily. Protein granola is even worse. £5 for 500 grams, and when you check the label, it's 15 grams of sugar per serving, plus palm oil and a load of unnecessary ingredients. Why are we paying extra for worse food? Oats don't need fancy packaging or health claims, they're just good. You can make porridge, overnight oats, add them to smoothies, use them in baking. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, they all stock plain jumbo oats or rolled oats. It'll save you money, and it's infinitely better for you. Number 11. Whole Earth 100% Peanut Butter. 1 ingredient. Peanuts, maybe a touch of salt, and the absolute minimum amount of organic and sustainable palm oil is used to let it spread evenly right out the jar. It's quite rare these days. Enjoy it while it lasts. Most commercial peanut butters are loaded with unnecessary rubbish. Check the label on a jar of Sunpat or Skippy, and you'll see peanuts, sugar, palm oil, vegetable oil, salt, and a stabilizer. Why? You don't need any of that. Peanuts have natural oils that separate when you don't add emulsifiers. Just stir it. That's not a flaw, that's what real peanut butter looks like. Whole Earth does a 100% peanut butter that's genuinely just peanuts. If you want a bit of salt, they do a version with a pinch of sea salt. That's it. No added sugar, no stabilizers, and if you go for the organic version, the peanuts are grown without pesticides. Conventional peanuts are heavily sprayed with fungicides because they grow underground and are prone to mold. Organic peanuts avoid that entirely. You'll find Whole Earth in most supermarkets now, usually in the spreads aisle or the health food section. It's about the same price as the mainstream brands, so there's no reason not to switch. One ingredient, that's the test. If your peanut butter has more than that, put it back. Number 12. Raw kimchi from brands like Vadash. Look, if you don't like kimchi, I understand. But if you really don't like it, you've just got to treat it as medicine instead of food to enjoy. It'll help keep you away from the doctors, which is arguably a worse situation, I'm sure we all agree. Kimchi is fermented cabbage with chili, garlic, ginger, and salt. It's a live food, meaning it's packed with billions of beneficial bacteria that support your gut health. And your gut health affects everything: digestion, immunity, mood, energy. The problem is most people buy pasteurized kimchi, which is heated to extend shelf life. That heating process destroys all the live cultures, so you're just eating spicy pickled cabbage with none of the benefits. Raw, unpasteurized kimchi is what you want, and it has to be kept in the fridge. If it's on a regular shelf at room temperature, it's been pasteurized. It's not alive anymore. Vadash is one of the brands in UK supermarkets that does proper raw kimchi. You'll find it in Tesco, Sainsbury's, and some Waitrose stores, usually in the refrigerated section near the salads or international foods. It's also really low effort. You can turn boring meals into high-fiber, probiotic-rich meals in 30 seconds. Add it to rice, noodles, eggs, salads, sandwiches. It's that condiment aisle secret that most people walk straight past. Number 13. Quality extra virgin olive oil. There's been a lot of controversy about olive oil as of late, but if you stick to these rules, you won't be missing out on one of the best superfoods sold in the whole of the UK. The problem is the olive oil market is full of fraud. Low-quality oils, rancid oils, all sold as extra virgin. But you can avoid all that if you know what to look for. 3 rules. Dark glass bottle. Harvest date, single origin. Dark glass protects the oil from light, which degrades it. If it's in a clear bottle, it's already losing quality just sitting on the shelf. Harvest date tells you when the olives were pressed. Olive oil is best used within 18 months of harvest. If there's no harvest date on the label, you have no idea how old it is. Could be 3 years old and rancid. Single origin means it tells you exactly where it's from. Andalusia, Spain. Tuscany, Italy. Kalamata, Greece. Specific regions, if it just says product of the EU or a blend of EU oils, that's a red flag. It's been mixed from multiple sources and you've got no idea what you're actually getting. Real extra virgin olive oil should also have a peppery, slightly bitter taste. That's a sign of quality. If it tastes bland and smooth, it's probably low grade or cut with something else. Look for terms like PDA or PGI certification. Those are protected designations that guarantee authenticity. You'll pay a bit more, maybe £6 instead of 3, but you're getting the real thing. Olive oil that's actually good for you, not some industrial blend that's been sitting in a warehouse for 2 years. Number 14. Organic soft citrus like satsumas, clementines, and mandarins. No vitamin C tablet can substitute whole citrus fruits, so get them in your system from time to time. Here's the thing that should shock you. 96% of conventional soft citrus in UK supermarkets have multiple pesticide residues. 96%. That's the highest contamination rate of any food category in the UK. And these are systemic pesticides, which means they're absorbed into the fruit itself. You're not just getting residue on the peel. It's inside the flesh. You can't wash it off. You can't peel it away. It's in the fruit. Organic soft citrus avoids that entirely. No synthetic pesticides, no fungicides, no post-harvest chemicals. Just fruit grown the way it should be. You'll find organic satsumas, clementines, and mandarins in pretty much every major supermarket now. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, Morrison's. They're usually about £1 more than conventional, but when you're talking about the most contaminated food in UK supermarkets, that extra quid is worth it. Vitamin C from whole fruit also comes with fibre, flavonoids, and other beneficial compounds that you don't get from a tablet. Your body absorbs and uses it better. So if you're buying citrus fruit, especially for kids, buy organic. It's one of those non-negotiable swaps. Number 15. Pumpkin seeds and mixed seeds. These are tiny, cheap, and incredibly nutrient-dense. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with magnesium, zinc, and iron. A small handful gives you a serious mineral boost. They're also a brilliant crunch replacement for crisps. You can sprinkle them on yogurt, salads, soups, or porridge. A 200-gram bag is about £1.50. You'll find them in every supermarket. Go for raw or lightly toasted seeds rather than heavily salted versions. Keep it simple. Number 16. Chia seeds. But here's the critical bit. You must soak them first. Start very slow the first time you try them. Start with a tiny amount and work your way up very, very slowly. Chia seeds are brilliant for omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and protein. But if you eat them dry, they can cause serious problems. There are published reports of chia seeds swelling and causing blockages when taken dry, especially if you've ever had swallowing issues. Chia seeds can expand up to 10 times their size when they absorb liquid. If that happens in your throat or esophagus instead of your stomach, you're in trouble, so always soak them first. Overnight is ideal. They'll form a gel-like texture, which is what you want. That's when they're safe and easy to digest. Chia pudding is one of the easiest healthy desserts you can make. Chia seeds, milk or a milk alternative, a bit of honey or maple syrup. Leave it in the fridge overnight. Done. You can also add soaked chia seeds to smoothies, porridge, or use them as an egg replacement in baking. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds mixed with 3 tablespoons of water replaces 1 egg. But seriously, never eat them dry. You'll find chia seeds in pretty much every supermarket now. They're not expensive, about £2 for 200 grams. Just remember to soak them. Number 17. Mushrooms. This is your veg that feels meaty. Mushrooms have that umami, savory depth that makes meals satisfying without needing actual meat. They're also one of the very few non-animal sources of vitamin D if they've been exposed to sunlight during growing. Some brands mention this on packaging. They're also high in fiber, B vitamins, and selenium. You can get a pack for about 89p. They work in place of meat in loads of dishes. If you're trying to cut down on meat for budget or ethical reasons, mushrooms should be your go-to. They're in every supermarket. Number 18. Plain Greek yogurt or skyr. 2 ingredients, milk and live yogurt cultures. That's the flex. Check the label on a pot of Phage Total 0% Greek yogurt. Milk, live yogurt cultures, done. Now check a Muller corner. 18 ingredients including glucose fructose syrup, modified starch, and thickeners. Same aisle, completely different foods. Plain Greek yogurt and skyr are high in protein, low in sugar, and they give you those beneficial live cultures for gut health. But you've got to buy the plain, unsweetened versions. The flavored ones are packed with sugar. Total Greek yogurt, skyr, even some supermarket own brand plain yogurts are fine. Just check the ingredient list. The fewer ingredients, the better. If you want it sweeter, add your own berries, honey, or a bit of cinnamon. You control the sugar. Compare that to those protein yogurt desserts that are marketed as healthy but are basically pudding with added whey powder. Or low-fat yogurts where they've removed the fat and compensated by adding loads of sugar. Plain Greek yogurt or sky is real food. Protein without the nonsense. Add it to smoothies, use it as a sour cream replacement, have it with fruit and nuts for breakfast. It's versatile, filling, and genuinely good for you. Every supermarket stocks it. Number 19. Green tea or matcha. 2.5p per cup versus £3.50 for those wellness shots at the checkout. Green tea is cheap and widely available. It contains catechins, plant compounds studied for health benefits. Matcha is concentrated green tea. The whole leaf is ground into powder, so it's stronger. If you're sensitive to caffeine, go for decaf green tea. A box of 80 green tea bags is about £2. Compare that to those wellness shots at the till that cost £3.50 each. Every supermarket stocks green tea, and some do matcha powder. It's not fancy, it's not expensive, and that's exactly why it works. Number 20. Frozen veg like broccoli, spinach, and peas. Peak nutrients, zero waste. At least you can still see the whole vegetable, so there's hardly any tampering. Fresh veg travels for days and loses nutrients. Frozen veg is picked and frozen within hours of harvest. Frozen broccoli often has more vitamins than fresh broccoli that's been sitting around. There's no waste either. You use what you need, the rest stays frozen. It's also cheaper. A bag of frozen broccoli is about £1 and lasts for multiple meals. Every supermarket has a massive range. Stock your freezer. Number 21. Plain walnuts. These have the highest plant-based omega-3 content of any nut. Walnuts are packed with alpha-linolenic acid, which is a type of omega-3 that supports brain and heart health. They're also high in antioxidants and have been linked to improved cognitive function in studies. A small handful of walnuts a day is a simple, effective addition to your routine. But you've got to buy plain, unsalted walnuts, not honey-roasted, not candied, not chocolate-covered. Just walnuts. The honey-roasted and flavored versions are coated in sugar and vegetable oils. You're paying extra for junk again. Plain walnuts might not taste as exciting, but that's not the point. They're fuel, not entertainment. Add them to porridge, salads, or yogurt. Eat them as a snack. They're shelf-stable, they last for ages, and they're genuinely one of the best nuts you can eat. Every supermarket stocks walnuts. A bag is usually about £2.50 to £3. If you're buying any nut regularly, make it walnuts. Number 22. Clipper Organic Tea. Biodegradable tea bags with no plastic, pesticide-free tea leaves, and fair wages for the workers who grow it. That's what Clipper has been doing since 1994. Most conventional tea is grown on plantations that are heavily sprayed with pesticides. Those pesticides end up in your cup, and most tea bags contain polypropylene, which is a type of plastic used to seal the bags. Every time you make a cup of tea, you're leaching microplastics into your drink. Clipper uses unbleached, plant-based, fully biodegradable tea bags. No plastic. The tea itself is 100% organic, so no pesticides. And it's fair trade certified, meaning the workers are paid fairly and aren't being exploited. Compare that to a box of PG tips, plastic tea bags, pesticide-soaked leaves, and workers paid poverty wages. Same supermarket shelf, same price, completely different values. Clipper is in most major supermarkets now: Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Co-op. It's usually in the tea aisle, sometimes near the organic or health food section. If you drink tea regularly, and most people in the UK do, this is an easy swap. No plastic in your drink, no pesticides, and you're supporting fair wages. Number 23. Tinned sardines or mackerel in olive oil. £1.50 for an omega-3 powerhouse that outperforms those £4 superfood supplement bars. Let's talk about Cornish sardines and hand-line caught hake from brands like Cornish Pilchard Works and Hook and Line. This is British fishing done right. These fisheries use hand lines and hook and line methods, which means literally zero bycatch and zero damage to the seabed. It's one fisherman, one line, one fish at a time. No massive nets scraping the ocean floor, no dolphins or turtles caught accidentally. Cornish hake stocks actually recovered from their collapse in the 1990s, thanks to proper fisheries management. This proves that when you fish sustainably and give populations time to recover, it works. You're also supporting small-scale British fishermen in boats under 10 meters, not industrial factory trawlers. These are real local fishing communities that have been working these waters for generations. Cornish sardines, also called pilchards, are a fantastic alternative to the big five overfish species everyone else is hammering. They're high in omega-3 fatty acids, they're MSC certified, and they're delicious. This is what sustainable British fishing looks like, and you should support it. Now let's talk about MSC certified sardines in olive oil, particularly from brands like Fish Forever. MSC certified sardines from clean, monitored fisheries are genuinely excellent. Sardines are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, about 2 grams per 3-ounce serving, which is among the highest of any fish. They're also very low in mercury because they're small, short-lived, and low on the food chain. You get all the brain and heart health benefits of fish oil without the contamination concerns that come with eating big predator fish. Sardines, canned with their edible bones, are also loaded with calcium and vitamin D for bone health. Look for MSC certification, BPA-free tins, and sardines packed in olive oil rather than vegetable oil or brine. Brands like Fish Forever test every single fish for mercury and histamine before canning. You're getting verified clean fish from sustainable fisheries. They're cheap, they're convenient, and they're genuinely good for you. Tinned sardines and mackerel are one of the best value superfoods in UK supermarkets. Number 24. Graham's Organic Milk. Widely available across the UK, and it's got higher omega-3 levels compared to conventional milk. Graham's is a Scottish dairy brand, and their organic milk is certified by the Soil Association. The cows are raised on organic farms with no synthetic pesticides or fertilizers used on the pastures. They're grass-fed, which naturally increases the omega-3 content in the milk. Organic dairy also means no routine antibiotics and better animal welfare standards overall. It's stocked in most major supermarkets including Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda and Waitrose. It's competitively priced compared to other organic milk brands, and the quality is solid. If you drink milk regularly, this is a straightforward swap. Same fridge, similar price point, but you're getting organic, grass-fed milk with higher omega-3s and no pesticides. That's a win. Number 25. Ground flaxseed. More omega-3 per ounce than salmon, but here's the catch. It has to be ground. Your body can't digest whole flax seeds. They'll pass straight through you undigested, and you'll get zero benefit. Ground flaxseed, also called milled flaxseed or flax meal, is what you want. It's packed with alpha-linolenic acid, which is a plant-based omega-3. It's also high in fiber and contains lignans, which are plant compounds that have been studied for various health benefits. You can add ground flaxseed to smoothies, porridge, yogurt, or use it in baking. It's also a brilliant egg replacement. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed with 3 tablespoons of water replaces 1 egg in recipes. Let it sit for a few minutes until it forms a gel, then use it like you would an egg. Ground flaxseed is in most supermarkets now, usually in the health food aisle or near the baking section. A bag is about £2 and lasts a while. Just make sure it's ground, not whole. If you buy whole flax seeds, grind them yourself in a coffee grinder or blender. But buying them already ground is easier. Number 26. High cocoa dark chocolate, 70% or higher. There's controversy around this, but you don't want to miss out because when consumed smartly, dark chocolate can be a decent treat. The controversy is about heavy metals. Consumer Reports found lead and cadmium in dark chocolate bars they tested. That's a real concern, but here's how you play it smart. Small portions, not daily slabs, 1 or 2 squares, not the whole bar. Rotate brands, don't eat the same brand every single day, and don't treat chocolate like a supplement. It's a treat, not medicine. High cocoa dark chocolate, 70% or higher, has more beneficial compounds and less sugar than milk chocolate. It's the least worst dessert option. But the key is dose and variety. A couple of squares a few times a week, different brands, and you're managing your exposure while still enjoying it. Compare that to those healthy chocolate bars with syrups, maltitol, and protein isolates. Those have a huge ingredient list, and they'll often give you digestive issues from the sugar alcohols. Dark chocolate with 3 ingredients, cocoa mass, cocoa butter, and a bit of sugar is a cleaner choice. Just be sensible with portion sizes. Number 27. Biona Organic Tinned Tomatoes and Beans. BPA-free cans, organic ingredients grown without pesticides, and no added sugar. Most tinned tomatoes and beans come from crops that are heavily sprayed with pesticides, and most standard tins are lined with BPA, which is a chemical that can leach into your food. BPA is linked to hormone disruption, and it's been banned in baby bottles in many countries. Yet, it's still used in most food cans. Bayona uses BPA-free cans and organic ingredients. That means no pesticides in the tomatoes or beans, and no hormone-disrupting chemicals leaching from the tin. The tomatoes are just organic tomatoes and a bit of salt. The beans are just organic beans and water. No added sugar, no weird preservatives, no unnecessary ingredients. It's about 40 ppm more than a regular tin of Heinz, but you're avoiding pesticides and BPA. That's worth it. You'll find Bayona in most supermarkets now, usually in the organic or world foods aisle. Stock up on tinned tomatoes, chickpeas, kidney beans, and black beans. They're pantry staples that last forever, and they're genuinely good quality. Number 28. Fresh ginger root. 60 pence, lasts 3 weeks, and it can be treated like medicine. Ginger has been used for thousands of years to help with nausea, digestion, and inflammation. If you're dealing with travel sickness, morning sickness, or just an upset stomach, ginger is one of the most effective natural remedies. You can make ginger tea by slicing fresh ginger and steeping it in hot water. You can grate it into stir-fries, curries, soups, or smoothies. A small knob of ginger goes a long way, and it's 60 pence for a piece that'll last you weeks in the fridge. Compare that to those ginger wellness shots at the checkout that cost £2.50 each. Same ingredient, same benefits, but one costs almost nothing and the other is pure marketing. Fresh ginger root is in every supermarket. It's usually near the garlic and onions in the veg section. Buy a small piece, keep it in the fridge, and use it when you need it. It's one of those ingredients that elevates your cooking and your health for basically no money. Number 29. Green and Black's Organic Chocolate. Child labor-free, fair trade, and 100% organic cocoa. Green and Black's was the first UK product to be awarded the Fair Trade mark back in 1994. That means the cocoa farmers are paid fairly and aren't being exploited. The cocoa beans are grown without synthetic pesticides, and there are no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives by law for organic products. It's also made with traditional methods and higher cocoa content, which means more of the beneficial compounds and less sugar. Compare that to a bar of dairy milk sitting right next to it on the shelf. Conventional chocolate often comes from plantations that exploit workers and use child labor. The cocoa is heavily sprayed with pesticides. The chocolate itself is full of added sugar and artificial ingredients. Green and Black's is the same price, same aisle, but completely different values. You're supporting ethical farming, no pesticides, and better quality chocolate. It's in every major supermarket: Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Waitrose, Asda. If you're buying chocolate anyway, make it this one. Number 30. Organic pears. 81% of regular pears in UK supermarkets have pesticide residues. That's a huge contamination rate. Pears have thin skin that absorbs pesticides easily, and they're often waxed after harvest, which traps pesticides on the surface. Organic pears avoid all of that. No synthetic pesticides, no post-harvest waxing with questionable chemicals. You'll find organic pears in most major supermarkets. They're usually a bit more expensive than conventional, maybe 50 pence to a quid more per bag. But when you're talking about a contamination rate that high, it's worth it. Pears are a great source of fiber, vitamin C, and they're naturally sweet. If you're buying them for kids, definitely go organic. It's one of those fruits where the pesticide issue is significant enough to make the swap. Number 30. 1. Organic kiwis. These fuzzy little powerhouses are absolutely packed with vitamin C. Just one kiwi gives you more than your entire daily requirement. You'll find them in most UK supermarkets, with organic options widely available at Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Waitrose, typically around £3 to £4 for a pack of 4. And that's well worth it to keep you from getting sick. What makes kiwis truly special is their impressive nutrient density. It's a natural supplement. They're loaded with vitamin K, vitamin E, folate, and potassium. Plus, they contain actinidin, a unique enzyme that aids protein digestion. The fiber content is remarkable too, supporting gut health and keeping you feeling satisfied. Don't bother peeling them if they're organic. The fuzzy skin is perfectly edible and contains even more fiber and antioxidants. Simply slice and scoop or bite right in. But if you really don't trust the organic label, then peel away. Number 32. The Aldi and Lidl organic range. Budget organic, and it's often cheaper than regular non-organic products at other supermarkets. People think organic is expensive, but that's only true if you're shopping at Waitrose or Whole Foods. Aldi and Lidl have their own organic ranges called Just Organic and Bio-Organic, and they're certified by the Soil Association. You can get organic carrots at Aldi that are cheaper than regular carrots at Tesco. Organic milk at Lidl is cheaper than regular milk at Sainsbury's. They've completely destroyed the myth that organic is only for rich people. The range covers all the essentials: organic fruit, veg, milk, eggs, bread, flour, pasta, tinned goods. It's not a tiny selection tucked away in a corner. It's a proper range that covers most of what you'd buy in a weekly shop. And the quality is solid. Soil Association certified, which is the gold standard for organic in the UK. If you've got an Aldi or Lidl near you, do your organic shopping there. You'll save a fortune compared to buying organic at the big supermarkets, and you'll still be getting certified organic produce. It's one of the best-kept secrets in UK supermarket shopping. Number 33. Waitrose Duchy Organic Range. Royal-backed, over 300 products, and often the same price as non-organic alternatives. The Duchy organic brand was started by King Charles back when he was the Prince of Wales, and this was before organic was even trendy. It covers everything from biscuits to beef, and it's all Soil Association certified. What's mad is that Duchy Organic is often the same price as regular non-organic products. You're not paying a premium, you're getting organic food at standard prices. That's rare. The range is massive, over 300 products, so you can do a full weekly shop with Duchy Organic if you want. It's accessible, it's high quality, and it's not hidden away in some specialist aisle. It's right there on the regular shelves next to everything else. Royal-backed organic products at the same price as pesticide-laden alternatives sitting next to them. That's the reality. If you shop at Waitrose, you've got no excuse not to be buying Duchy Organic. It's one of the largest and most accessible organic ranges in UK supermarkets. Now, the 11 fake healthy foods they don't want you knowing about. Well, it looks like the corporations, they've come for me. So I'll have to cover those in the next upload.